entire time it was the work of the system that broke down the black family home.
She always got something to say. Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, yes, she did. No, she didn't. Yes, she did.
We gonna cry a little. We gonna laugh a lot.
I like her.
Want to hear real shit?
Keeping it real.
In the right spot.
Come on,
Let's
y'all.
talk about
Let's
it.
talk about it.
What's going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. I'm your girl Jamaica, of course, and let's just go ahead and get into the video. If you have never been here before, you've never seen this face before, and you're new to the channel, we can fix that, no problem. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and just like that, problem solved, no worries, no stress, no fuss, no cuss. You here, we here. Let's talk about it. Let me relax first because I feel my anxiety going up. Just recently, Syesha Mercado, a family in Florida, had their child removed from them, both of them. But originally it was the first child that they had took to the doctor because they said that they weren't taking in. They were worried that the child wasn't getting proper amount of feeding because she was carrying another child. She just wasn't producing as much breast milk to feed. So she went to the hospital just to make sure that the child was getting the proper nutrients. Can you give my child some extra fluids? This is the situation. Okay, so going on. Then there was some communication about getting the child the B12 shot. She had called her husband, or said that she would call her husband first. If you don't know what the B12 shot is, it is for vitamin deficiency. So if your child lacks something, or if the doctors see that the child is not getting enough of something deficient, then they give the B12 shot. So the doctors kept the baby, gave the baby the fluids, then said they were going to keep the baby for observation. Later on, doctors and child people come in and they say they're going to take her child from her because she refused the B12 shot. And I'm just going to play a little bit of the audio.
Syesha Mercado and her family are just one more victim. In February of this year, Syesha had taken her 13-month-old baby boy to the hospital. She had just found out that she was pregnant again, and she wasn't producing the amount of breast milk required to feed him adequately. So she asked for the hospital's help in getting him more fluids. After a few days, he was doing fine, and she thought she was going to be able to go home. But the hospital wanted to keep the baby for further observation. On March 11th, Manatee County Child Protective Services came to the hospital with armed officers and said they would be confiscating the baby because the parents had refused a B12 shot. She says that never happened.
But what do we do?
Yeah, what is the crime? Can you please give us a charge?
But who said we
You
neglected
refused the B12 shot
I
today.
didn't refuse it. I said his
No,
father was on his way.
There was no refusal.
So you're saying you're taking my child away from me?
I am.
Right now,
That's
you
not
can't
gonna
take my
happen.
child away from me.
That's not gonna happen.
What?
Right now, this time, I'm
You give me
filing
the
criminal
B12
charges
shot.
against this
I never
hospital.
said I was.
I didn't do anything. This is so injustice.
They are pulled over, and the cops proceed to say, we are going to take your other child away from you. Now, usually when something like this happens, it's done at the hospital. Like, you have the child, and then if it's something that's serious, like if you've been doing drugs with the child, or if you just had your previous children taken away for child abuse, or things of that nature, when you have your next child, CPS will be sitting there to take your child. Some case like this, where I'm driving around my child, I've already had my child, I get pulled over, and you gonna take my child? Let me tell you guys, this just, I could just be saying this, and I don't believe that I am, because I know me. I know me. You would have had to, my body would have been dead. I would have been lifeless. It would have went from we was coming to take her child to we have a dead person outside on the side of the highway, because you're not prying my child from my arms. It's just not happening. I could be in the car, I could be in the house, I could be in the hospital. Just because you feel like it, there's nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. You guys took my first child after not doing anything wrong, and now you think you're gonna come take my second? That's heartbreaking. And I think it's just another way for the system, for white people to try to break up a home. When you have a home, a black people home, and it's a unit, That's something to be proud of, because it doesn't happen a lot. So you have the system that wants to break up a home. You have the system that wants to try to take the father out. Once you realize you can't get to the father because he's doing what every good citizen man is doing, then you try to take away the child. I think like white men who are the cops, white men who are in the correctional facilities, they do their job. But don't ever get it twisted. You do have racist white women trying to take away your child, trying to put you in such a depressed state as a black woman that you need like some type of medical help. You don't underestimate white women. Do not underestimate racist white women, especially when they have some sort of power. Like, you have power when you can take away someone's child because you feel like you can, because you want to. That is messed. I wouldn't be able to sleep. Like, I would be up all night drinking coffee, crack, cocaine, whatever got to see in it, because my children, we as women, we love our children. Those are what keep us strong. Those are what give us hope. Like, our kids are what keep us getting up every day and keeping us moving and keeping us and reminding us of who we are and what we're supposed to do and what the goal is. And you just come and snatch somebody's child away from them. Dead. You have to kill me. I'm sorry. This is not about to go how you think it's gonna go. I'm sorry. You thought you was gonna come here and have a clean sweep. Nah, dead on the side of the road. We took the child from her because we had to shoot her. I am just one of the people that I'm just not gonna allow you to do anything to me. And especially with how the world is right now, when you have people maliciously with malice intent trying to break up your happiness, trying to break up your home, trying to cause some type of friction in your life, in your world, and it's because you're black. It's because we have an agenda, and our agenda as racist white people is to break up the family of a black home. It's to break down a black home. It's to put the father in incarceration. It's to keep the mother on welfare and on assistance, and not trying to motivate her to get her education or start a career or be an entrepreneur. We're not trying to uplift the black family home. Once we do that, then her kids are a product of the system. Then her kids are out here in the streets. Now we can blame the parents. The entire time it was the work of the system that broke down the black family home. And it's just sad to see. It's just so sad when you really look at the scope of it. And it's not just our men committing crimes. It's not just our black women going to get on assistance. It's a system putting the things on the black family to make them feel like I as a father have to do what I need to do, so let me go sell drugs, let me go do this. Now look ahead of yourself, my black folk. Some of y'all do shit because it's dumb and y'all don't do it for a reason. You just do it. You are excluded from this statement. But there are actual black men who feel like I have no choice, that I have this on me, I have no choice, and I still have to provide. And as a woman, you gotta provide. You gotta do what you need to do. And if that's getting on assistance, that's that. But then once you take a solid structure and you break it down like that, and then now pieces are scattered all over the place, your husband not never getting out of jail, you can never get a job because now you're a full-time mom. It's hard to be a full-time worker and a full-time mom. And now you got to make that work, and then you still got to keep your sanity. You still got to keep your mental health as a black woman. That is hard. It is so hard when you have to be all of the pieces because the system took your home and broke it up. And I pray for her and her family. I pray that that woman gets her children back, and I'm gonna sue. Suing for me not enough. Suing and y'all giving me millions of dollars is not enough. What it's saying is we can do whatever we want to do to you, and then you take this money. Nah. Meet me outside. Meet me outside for your whole life. Like, because it's just a trauma. It's a trauma. And even though those children are young, that could potentially be a trauma for them. Thankfully, they're young right now to where they won't even remember it unless it's a story that they hear about. But imagine those kids being of age and somebody coming and ripping you from your mother and your father and throwing you into a home with people who don't even give a fuck about you. Just, oh, go over there, and if everything goes right, you call them back. Like, bitch, meet you at your house. Yeah, bitch, meet your house. Like, I'm going to jail for that. I'm down for that. I'm not sitting easy. I'm gonna sleep outside. Whatever this office is, I'm asleep out here right now. You have to come and arrest me. Come on, we breaking violations around here. Because it's people, like I said, it's racist people out here that has the intent in their head that that's what they're gonna do. You're gonna take my child over a B12 shot that I didn't even deny. They're saying they didn't deny it. She said, let me call and get some confirmation from my husband. Let me call and tell my husband something. Like, why are y'all here? What are y'all gonna do? Because one of your nurses getting stabbed. So when one of y'all touch me and my child, it's a problem. When I gave birth to my second son and they wanted to take him for his hearing test, I was like, hold on to the thing. They're like, oh, we coming to take him out? Where you going? She's like, oh no, you can take a bath and take some time to, I don't need no bath right now. I can get a bath when I get home. 2 days left. You know, and I was like anxious to get my child back. You know, I did take a bath. It was a nice hot bath, but I was anxious. As soon as I got out the bath, I'm calling. Hello, yeah, this is, I'm looking for, yep, okay, 10 minutes, cool. Bring him out. Just like that, like I said, because you never know, especially living at the times that we're living in, what the mindset is of anybody, especially now with racism and it happening at the highest levels, even in places where you should feel comfortable, where you shouldn't have that worry of, I can take my child and not get him back, like a hospital. Like, I can take my child in for this, explain this to you, and then you can tell me I'm not getting your child back. Nah, that's messed up. That's just, it broke my heart to read the story. I thought about who I could kill. Like, oh my God, that's a different type of strength. I say it all the time. When children are killed by cops, when your child is taken away from you, other than anything that's natural, and you have the strength to get on camera, you have the strength to get on the lab, you have the strength to write about it, you have the strength to, that's a God, because I cannot think about what it would be like for my child to die and then somebody to put a camera in my face, or for me to do an interview, or for me to even start a GoFundMe. Like, where did I get the strength to pick this phone up, write how much I think I might need? I just that's God. It's got to be, because I only think on my mind is going to be revenge. It just don't nobody bother me. I don't want to hear paparazzi. I don't want to hear TMZ. I don't want to hear Fox 9 News, Channel 7. None of that. Nobody say or do anything to me. I'm planning. I'm plotting. So I will leave in the description box the GoFundMe and the link to her story. And I really hope that it's something that can get resolved. The doctor is a white woman, of course. I've read that she's done this before. I've read that this is her thing. So you know how we do, black folks. Let's come together. Let's get this girl out. Now I would rather, well, we ain't gonna say that. Let's get it out. Let's get it situated. Let's reunite this black family. Let's reunite them, and let's pray that they receive healing and strength and can move on past this. Because I know it's going to be hard. I couldn't imagine not waking up to my children, even if they're just like gone. And we ain't talking about sleepover gone. We talking about situations like this. I couldn't imagine. Crack cocaine. What? This girl ain't slept in days. Okay, I'm delusional at this point, because those are your kids. Ugh. That's the story. I will leave it. It's on Twitter. I'm going to leave all the links if anyone is interested, just to know the story, how they can help, whatever the case may be. I'm going to leave that all in the description box. I wish you guys the very best. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you're following on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter for all the behind the scenes cool stuff that you just don't get here. Let's have some fun. Let's kick it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.